Hello esteemed viewers, this is ERi-TV English news broadcast with your latest updates and insights on the world's most pressing issues. But first are the top stories for today. The Italian high-level delegation visits Massawa port. The 7th Annual National Council of Eritrean Americans Conference convenes. Trump reduces Russia-Ukraine deadline to 10 to 12 days. And Nigeria kidnappers kill 35 hostages. In your domestic reports, the Italian high-level delegation led by Mr. Francesco Lollobrigida, Minister of Agriculture, Food Sovereignty and Forests, and including Minister Edmondo Cirielli, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, visited various development sites in the port city of Massawa. Upon arrival at Massawa International Airport, the delegation was warmly welcomed by Mr. Tawaldek Elati, Minister of Marine Resources. The delegation laid a wreath at the Massawa Italian Soldiers Cemetery. During their visit to the port city of Massawa and the Ship Repair Center, the delegation received a briefing on the historical background of the port, the services it provided, the expansion activities undertaken after independence, and its current operational capacity. In the meeting held with Minister Tawaldek Elati, the discussions focused on prospects for strengthening investment in the marine sector. The delegation also received a video presentation highlighting Eritrea's rich marine resources and the ongoing renovation activities carried out using internal capacity. The delegation also visited this island. In other news, the 7th National Council of Eritrean Americans, NCEA, convened on 29 July in the city of Raphael, California, under the theme United in Purpose, Strong in Voice, Safeguarding National Sovereignty. The conference was opened with a welcoming speech by Ms. Rim Tesfaselassie and Ms. Adalia Samuel, chairpersons of the conference coordinators. Speaking at the event, Mr. Berhane Gebrehiwet, chargé d'affaires at the Eritrean Embassy, said that the conference is of particular significance as it's taken place at a time when Eritrea has achieved various diplomatic and political victories and has become a major partner in ensuring regional peace and stability. Highlighting the importance of strengthening organizational capacity and unity to succeed in national development and resilience efforts, Mr. Berhane expressed his hope that the conference would design viable programs and adopt resolutions to support the national development agenda. Ms. Hadinet Kaleta, Head of Public and Community Affairs, introduced the objectives and agenda of the conference and expressed her expectation that participants would enrich the sessions with ideas and practical resolutions. The event featured a fashion show depicting Eritrea's ethnic groups, along with music and drama performances by Hedri youth born in the diaspora. Reports with statistical data were presented by PFDJ organizations and the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Hedri, followed by extensive discussions among participants. Eritrean American Nahom Alam, space rocket engineer that was provided award as Best Black Space Engineer last year, and Mr. Al-Nur Humed, Head of Consular Affairs, gave briefings focusing on their experiences. Still with your domestic reports, nationals in various German cities have contributed approximately 153,000 euros towards augmenting the National Martyrs Trust Fund and supporting families of martyrs. Accordingly, adult sports team Mr. Siyum Gebrehiwet and other nationals have assumed the responsibility of supporting 118 families and have contributed 82,350 euros. Likewise, the Martyrs Group in Bielefeld and its environs contributed 1,400 euros. Residents of Dusseldorf and its environs contributed 3,400 euros. DEG Eritrean German 500 euros. National Committee in Kassel contributed 3,052 euros. National Committee in Munich contributed 240 euros. National Committee in Stuttgart and its environs contributed 3,985 euros. National Committee in Wuppertal and its environs contributed €5,000. PFDJ Group in Karlsruhe contributed €1,021. Hedry Group in Hamburg contributed €624. National Committee in Frankfurt contributed €7,870. National Committee in Mannheim contributed €11,075. National in Cologne contributed €1,927. Youth Nationals in Lagana, Hamburg contributed €4,765. Eritrean Community in Karlsruhe contributed €4,155. Eritrean Community in Wiesbaden contributed €5,960. Eritrean Community in Kreis-Offenbach contributed €4,875. Families of Mr. Samara Waldo contributed €100, and 7 nationals contributed €1,210. Eritrean Community in Austria also contributed €2,500 toward augmenting the National Trust Fund. In your last domestic report, members of the 38th round of national service from the Central region departed today to Massawa to continue their 12th grade education. The students scheduled to depart in 2 rounds are from 22 high schools in the region, with female students making up to 56% of the participants. The second group is scheduled to depart on 3 August. Students from the Massawa, Gashbarka, Southern and Northern and Southern Red Sea regions have already departed. According to the report, out of the 8,000 members of the 37th round of national service who took the National School Living Examination, 33.5% qualified for degree and diploma programs. Dear viewers, stay tuned for your international reports and more after the short break. Welcome back. On Monday, 28 July, U.S. President Donald Trump has sharply reduced the time frame he set for Russia and Ukraine to agree on a ceasefire, warning that Moscow now has just 10 to 12 days to reach a deal or face sweeping new sanctions. The U.S. president had originally given the two sides 50 days to negotiate an end to the conflict, threatening to impose 100% tariffs on Russian imports and secondary sanctions on countries and companies that continue to trade with Russia. That initial deadline was due to expire in early September. The ultimatum, first issued on July 14, also included a warning that the U.S. would resume arms deliveries to Ukraine if no truce was achieved within the time frame. Moscow has responded by reaffirming its willingness to negotiate, but said any talks must take into account the realities on the ground and the root causes of the conflict. In today's final report, local officials said that kidnappers in Nigeria have killed at least 35 people they abducted from a village in northern Zamfara state, despite ransoms being paid for their release. In recent years, criminal gangs in the region, known as bandits, have taken to kidnapping people as means to raise money. In this incident, 56 people were taken from Banga village in March. The gunmen then demanded a ransom of 1 million naira or $655 per captive. Local government chairman said that most of those killed were young people who were slaughtered like rams. In an attempt to curb the spiraling and lucrative kidnapping industry, a law was enacted in 2022, making it a crime to make ransom payments. It carries a jail sentence of at least 15 years. However, no one has ever been arrested on those charges. It also made abductions punishable by death in cases where victims die. But families often feel forced to pay to save their loved ones, citing the government's inability to ensure their safety. And now a recap of the top stories. The Italian high-level delegation visits Massawa port. The 7th Annual National Council of Eritrean Americans Conference convenes. Trump reduces Russia-Ukraine deadline to 10 to 12 days. And Nigeria kidnappers kill 35 hostages. Dear viewers, thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with more news and developments. Until then, have a good one.